Oh, all right. Let's have a bit of a chat. Got the coffee, and you're gonna have to excuse, I've got sweat dripping from me because the air conditioner is right above me here and it's hot, but I can't have that on because it's so damn loud. So we're just gonna keep this nice and raw. We got the iced latte, which I probably don't need because I've already had a double shot and pre-workout, but hey, we love our coffee around here. Anyway, what I wanted to chat to you guys about on this video today is why your body image, why your self-doubt continues to linger. Right now, for context, for those of you that might be new to my channel, my name's Tom. Nice to meet you. Thanks for being here. I am a body image mentor, right? Working on the physical and mental aspects of body image. But I myself suffered with body dysmorphia for 15 years. It completely controlled my life. No matter how much weight I lost, muscle I gained, or anything else, I would still see my body in a really negative way. And so much so that it impacted my relationships, how I felt as a man. And despite me trying everything out there, you know, getting lean, putting on a heap of muscle, I went down the super spiritual route and just wanted to love my body no matter what. And I tried to disassociate from the fact that I didn't like how I looked physically, but I tried to convince myself mentally that I liked what I saw in the mirror. Nothing ever worked. And it wasn't until I realized that it's in the combination, in the synergy of the physical work, so actually building a fucking awesome physique, and the mental work, so shifting my old identity, my thoughts, my beliefs, my stories, my emotions that were deeply rooted in me being the guy that had body dysmorphia, me being the guy that was never confident in his body. And the more I was able to do that, the more they both, you know, worked off each other. And suddenly I was in the best shape of my life, and mentally I was as good and am as good as I have ever been. Now, one of the biggest things that sparked that for me was getting clear on the fact that I wanted to be a father, right? I wanted to be a husband, a father, and build a beautiful family. And as I sat there and I pictured that, in those moments, I couldn't see that happening because I doubted myself so much. And I was so scared because when I pictured that family dynamic as I was back then, I saw a dad that couldn't keep up with his kids. I saw a dad that was really negative in his own head and had that impact his children, had that impact his connection with his wife and his intimacy. And you know, ultimately, without going into detail, I just couldn't see myself as being the father, the man, the leader of the family. And that didn't sit well with me because that's what I really, really wanted, right? However, when I started to dig around a little bit more, I realized that one of the biggest reasons that was coming up for me was because in my mind, there was a reality out there, a future reality in which that could potentially happen, right? I'm like, there was always this chance that, yeah, this could happen. Like if nothing changes, that could happen. And then I would think about that reality, which I didn't like, and then I would spiral and I would doubt myself and I would just feel really shitty and anxious and worry. And that would leave me in this state of paralysis and not doing anything about it because I was like, well, this is probably what's going to happen because I haven't been able to change this for so long. And you know, what's to say something's going to miraculously change now? And I'd almost just accepted that that was going to happen. But my fault there was giving myself the chance, giving myself the possibility that that was actually a chance to happen. And the analogy I use is, it was like going to a restaurant and being like, oh, I don't know if I'm going to order pasta or pizza, right? And then you get there and you're like, oh, I'm not sure, depending on my mood, depending on how I'm feeling, like I could get either. So back in those days, I would have days where I was really good, right? And I liked what I saw in my body, and I felt confident. I was like, you know what, maybe like I can overcome this body dysmorphia. Maybe I can have this family, right? Along with the other goals that I had. But then other days when I was in my head and I was feeling really negative, it would be the opposite. It'd be like, oh yeah, well, this is probably gonna happen. I'm gonna be the father that can't be there for his kids, can't be there for his wife, has no sex life, you know, can't help his kids navigate their own challenges because I'm still dealing with mine. So I had these two options. I had my pasta and my pizza. And it would depend every day what I felt like eating, right? However, fast forward to now, I'm not going to bore you with a lot of the stuff that sort of went in between that, but where I'm at now and the opinion and view I have now that has dramatically changed not just my body image, but everything, right? Even with my business, even with my content. Now there is no reality in which I don't build a 7-figure business and impact the fitness space, body dysmorphia, and body image as a whole like I'm going to. There is no reality in which that doesn't happen. I don't know the how yet, right? I don't know when it's going to happen, but in my mind, that is inevitable. So every day I wake up, I show up with, okay, I know this is going to happen, but what do I need to do today? What do I need to let go of? What do I need to open myself up to, right? In order to continue to build my business. That's the same with our body. When we get into this headspace of there is no reality in the future in which I am still living with body dysmorphia, in which I'm still looking in the mirror and not liking what I see, in which I'm still self-sabotaging, still emotionally eating, and ultimately for me, and a lot of clients I work with, where I'm still at the mercy of my body and I'm never able to change it, and then that is now impacting my family in a negative way. It is impacting my partner who has to baby me, who has to continue to reassure me and validate me, right? There is no reality in which that happens. So now, like, my body dysmorphia is completely gone. Like, don't get me wrong, I have my days where, you know, especially January, so I'm recording this in Feb, the last month there's been a lot of travel, a lot of eating out, and you know, I'm not in the best shape that I've ever been in, right? But that mental spiral into that hole is no longer there. And that's because of this work where it's like, yeah, I know that I'm gonna be able to, you know, I trust myself to move through this. I trust myself to get a bit of weight off, to get back into the training and food and my routines and whatnot, right? Because at the end of the day, that reality in the future of me being the husband and the father, along with everything else, is locked in, that is happening. So I can let go of the present, right? I can let go of this doubt and fear that nothing's gonna happen because I've already placed the order, right? I'm going to the restaurant, getting back to the analogy, I'm going to the restaurant knowing that I'm ordering a pizza. That is just in my mind, I want a pizza, I feel like pizza, that is what I'm gonna order, and that is what I get, right? In my mind, I've already created and I've ordered and I've placed the order for this reality around my body, around my confidence, around my mental health, whatever it might be. So that is what I'm gonna get, okay? I don't know how the pizza's gonna be prepared. I don't know maybe even what flavor it's gonna be. I don't know how long it's gonna take to come out of the kitchen. I don't know if one is gonna be enough. Like, there's all these other questions, but they're irrelevant to the main fact that I know I am getting a pizza. So what I really try and do with my clients is get them from this place where these two different realities and possible futures exist in their mind. The one they actually desire, and even that one, quite often they don't know what that is because they haven't actually sat long enough without their limitations to work out what that looks like. You know, they might be at the place where they're like, oh, I just want to love my body more. I just want to be able to lose a bit of weight. I just want my mental health to be better. And it's like, no. Like, that's not going to pull you forward. Right, you need to get so fucking specific on what overcoming your current challenges is going to allow you to do, allow you to create, allow you to be, right? So we need to improve the picture of that future reality, but more often than not, 95% of their time is spent focusing on the alternate reality, which is them not getting there, them not making it, them continuing to live with fear and doubt and body dysmorphia and body image and self-sabotage, emotionally eating, not being able to find their person, right? Always being a victim of, you know, shitty men or shitty women that can't hold down a relationship, or whatever your story is. That's the reality they focus on. It's like, this one, yeah, like every now and then I'll think about it, but my default is here. All right, it's like I'm 90% sure I'm ordering the pizza, might order the pasta, but you know, I'm probably gonna order the pizza. And trust me, when you start showing up with the energy and with the belief that only one possible future reality actually exists, the one you want, that has all of your desires fulfilled, your whole, I call it the vision board life, right? Everything you want has been fulfilled in that reality, and that is where you focus. That is where you then create your thoughts and your feelings and your stories, your beliefs, your actions to work towards that. This one starts to fade. This one will still pop up. You have the thought, oh, maybe I'll get pasta. No, I want pizza. Like, I'm back here, right? So that's the energy we need to start showing up with. That your desired reality is absolutely a fucking non-negotiable. It is inevitable, right? It's Thanos, like, I am inevitable. That reality is inevitable. Then, okay, cool. Now that we've got a clear picture of that and what that actually looks like, and we realize how epic that's going to be, now we can actually do some of the work, right? Because it's all well and good just to think about that. We actually need some strategy to fix that. So that looks like, you know, for me and for my clients, it looks like the strategy of training and nutrition. Okay, so like, let's actually get you into good shape, right? Program the calories, the macros, the cardio. Let's actually get you having a body that looks fucking epic, right? But then it's also the mental strategy. And I'm currently a couple of weeks out from running my one-day event called Origin, which is basically, I say it's where your unfuckwithable self is born. It's where I go into a lot of the mental, emotional, spiritual strategies to start to shift our thinking, shift our identity, shift how we see ourselves. Because the reason we, flip between these two realities and we focus on the negative one is quite often because our perception of ourself is so warped, it's so limited, it's so restricted because for whatever reason, conditioning and other belief systems and stuff that we've grown up with, that that's what we need to change. That's what our focus is. We need to change your perception of yourself so you can open yourself up to the possibility of having XYZ, whatever it is you like, right? So this whole day is 9, 10, 11 hours. Like, I don't know how long it's going to go for because it depends what comes up for these guys. But it's, 9, 10 hours being in a room where you fucking decide that this is the only reality that I'm getting. Cool. Who do you need to be? Right? What needs to happen? What do you fucking need from me? Right? We shift the identity. I teach them how our mind actually works, right? To actually perceive our reality. How we can start to remove things like comparison, fear of judgment, self-sabotage, emotional eating, whatever strategies you've been using to stay stuck and to restrict yourself, we flip them and I help with the strategies to shift the mind and therefore shift the action, shift the energy we show up with, and shift the actual momentum we have in our lives. Because you get to the point, and this will happen at, this happens at these one-day events, or if you work with me one-on-one, where you've had this vision for how life could be, and you've had some sporadic moments throughout our, initial hours of the event, our initial few weeks with one-on-one coaching, where you've actually seen it and you've actually felt like you're fucking capable of having it. And when you've had a glimpse of that, you're like, holy fuck, like I actually believe that this is possible for me. I actually believe that I can have this. When you've had that, it's like, okay, fucking game over, like, let's go. You've had a glimpse. Whenever you fall back into this old pattern, which is gonna happen, like I still have it, all I need to say is, hey, remember that vision that you're creating, that life you're creating, the body you're creating, the wealth, the finances, the business, the relationships, the level of impact as a fucking father or mother that you are going to have. You remember that? Yeah. Like, so what are we doing here? Like, are we going to give our power away to this old reality and our old self? Or are we going to implement the tools that we've been given and get back to focusing on this inevitable reality that I am going to create? And trust me, like, just that alone, showing up with that alone, if you take nothing else from this video, other than to start telling yourself that there is only one possible reality out there for me. Sorry guys, I've got fucking hay fever today. My nose is, so it always happens when I sit down to record a video. I haven't itched my nose all day and I sit down to record it and it starts fucking itching. So sorry about that. I'm not picking my nose. When you start showing up with that energy, that alone is going to move the needle more than you can even fucking imagine, right? Because there's hope. It's like, oh, maybe it doesn't have to be like this anymore. Maybe I don't have to have body dysmorphia. Maybe I can realize that body dysmorphia is a fucking label and a diagnosis that doesn't serve me, so I'm not going to choose to have that in my reality. And I can see myself beyond that. I can start putting in the work in the gym, with the relationships, with my food and my health, right? And I can start actually realizing that I don't have to put so much pressure on myself because this reality is fucking inevitable. That's how I live. If that doesn't work for you, then shit, like, if you've made it this far, it probably is going to work with you. But if that doesn't work with you, like, that's all good. That is all good. That's what works for me. It's what works for my clients, and it's how we're able to remove body dysmorphia. I'm going to just like examples from clients of what they've overcome in the past: body dysmorphia, emotional and binge eating, self-sabotage, never being able to find their person or partner because they always push them away or they attract fucking dickheads. And even just having this clear vision for their life, right? We overcome all these different things through this way of thinking, this way of showing up, and you realizing that you get to fucking decide who you are. You get to decide the kind of life you want to live. If you don't want to live with body image issues anymore, stop giving yourself the option. I know that's very simplistic advice, but you stack that up hour upon hour, day upon day, week upon week, month, year upon year, your whole world is going to look completely different. right? And if you're struggling to do that, it's cool, right? I struggled with it for 15 years. I didn't know this stuff for 15 years. Now I can change people's fucking lives, remove their body dysmorphia in a matter of weeks, their perception of it anyway. We can overcome emotional eating. I've done that in a matter of weeks with certain clients. Like, there is so much that you are capable of. You just need to be shown the way. So if this is resonating with you, first make sure you're subscribed. I actually am really enjoying this kind of more laid back video because I've gone away from trying to edit shit, and I just want to fucking talk to you guys. Yeah, so if you're struggling with that, make sure you're subscribed. Drop a comment down below. Let me know if anything resonates. Feel free to DM me on Instagram. It's probably best if you've got any questions or you want to share anything. And hey, if you're like, yeah, I need some help with this, right? Then again, DM me. I'll let you know what's going on. At the moment, if you're watching this before Feb 16th and you're in Australia, I've got my one-day event coming up on Feb 16. There's currently 3 places left at the time of this recording. Can't promise there will be when you reach out to me, but there'll be more coming up. Or I take on very select, very limited one-on-one clients to do all this stuff with. So yeah, send me a message. We can work out what might be beneficial for you. But yeah, I'll finish this by saying, you don't have to live with body image troubles anymore. You don't have to live with self-doubt anymore. And you don't have to live with this uncomfortable what if of that reality you truly want not happening. You don't have to live with that. I know how shitty it is. There's another way, right? Much love, guys. Thank you very much. And yeah, we'll see you in the next video.